Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Transpositions Weekly. I'm Bree McCune, and I'm just going to take 10 minutes of your time here to talk about one of our presidential candidates. I wish it was one of the ones that I'm feeling positive about, but I want to point out what's being said about trans people on the political scene currently from the Trump-Vance camp. So I really do... I really do mourn to bring this to, or loathe, sorry, not mourn, loathe to bring this to you, because our guy is off his rocker, but is that the right one? There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I'll blow this up. We don't need to see that side chat. So Trump made this big, long speech, right? He made this speech that ran for 3 hours and 45 seconds straight. Through most of this, he meanders on about nonsense. But here, in the last 8 minutes, he decides he wanted to talk about trans people. Decides he wants to bring up trans people. So today, this is in Detroit. I think it was yesterday. So today we're gonna have a look at it. I like how when you go to a Trump rally, you always see the most peculiar characters in the background. I'm looking for anybody with a crazy cowboy hat or things like that. They're really weird. They're weird people. I think they pack the... Looking at how many black people are behind him, it seems like they must just pack all the black people at the Trump rally right behind Trump. I don't know. Here we go. Let's hear what he has to say. Okay. This is what the topic he was talking about before, but yeah, here we go. We're going to get into the transgender stuff now at 2:52. So, and that's the thing is like even the crime stuff is wrong. The statistics do show that violent crime is like record lows. It's down. Violent crime is down. They'll show you if you say to somebody, they'll show you pictures of people shoplifting. It's like okay. All right. You were president for 4 years before. You couldn't. If you thought it was bad, you couldn't have done something like that. You don't want to hear. He's muted, but you don't want to hear about it. He's just talking about crime right now. I unmuted him.
Executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content.
Let's hear that again. Every dang time, I have to do no audio first. Don't you guys know how I run this show? I want to hear what he says again.
Become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. I could say again, but it's been
it's
so
an improvement over here
for
in
so
Trump.
long. I almost don't want to say again. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual,
there we go,
or political content onto the shoulders of our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
So things like vaccine mandates and hello polio, my dear friend, I've missed you. Does he not know that school vaccine mandates? Trump is old enough to remember polio. Trump is old enough to remember polio. Why is he saying stupid things? I know it's because it's what he thinks I want to hear, but we need vaccine mandates. I think it was racial. Inappropriate racial. Yeah, telling kids that black people were slaves to white people is shaming white people and should be forbidden from schools. Don't you know that? That's the message that we're sending out. Manufactured outrage. Exactly, pragmatic Crystal.
And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay.
Here he goes. Trump is going to enlighten us about the Olympics. Trump had some thoughts about the Olympics. I don't know if he's watching it down there in Mar-a-Lago, maybe. But I can't imagine he's got anything positive to say about it.
If Kamala Harris gets in, the travesty that is taking place at the Paris Olympics will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And
yeah, we do have the LA Olympics coming up, but I do want to stress that the Paris Olympics is fine. I mean, it's fine. There's really nothing. There's no there's no trans people, right? That's for sure. We know that.
And
I shouldn't say there's no trans people. We have a non-binary runner, but they're not going to care about that. They will still call them her no matter what, because they ran in that category. Trump is a weird dude.
Way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very...
Does the president get you the World Cup and the Olympics and stuff? Isn't there an Olympic committee that votes on what cities and such that they are going to be presenting at?
Very soon. I might as well say it myself because nobody else will say it. But I got them both, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it, I hope. Harris is a radical trans activist, and she is the candidate of letting men beat up women in the name of tolerance. But you look at what...
So, Kamala Harris is the candidate of men beating up women in boxing, I guess. He thinks that if he was president, when the LA Olympics happen, if Iman Khalif tries to box it, he'll have any kind of say whatsoever on whether or not she'll be able to compete. Who does he think he is? He doesn't control who can compete in the Olympics. It's not what a president does.
What's happening over in Paris, it will never happen here. I will never let it happen.
You don't get to control who's in the Olympics, my dude.
I will get all males off your daughter's soccer teams and volleyball teams and get them.
Where is that happening? Where are people asking for this? The only places I've seen where trans girls are wanting to play, it's almost always like a small school where they wouldn't even have enough for two gendered teams, yet alone. I don't know. When I was in school, we had co-ed soccer teams, but I guess that's obviously too much for people to handle these days. They can't even talk about unisex bathrooms because unisex bathrooms are a attack on Christianity. Jesus.
Get them out of your locker rooms once and for all. That's going to be cleaned up, and we will fight to make sure that the LA Olympics protects women and protects girls.
In the Olympics, you can punch your opponent so hard that it changes your gender. True story.
I will fully uphold the Second Amendment, and we will protect innocent life. And
isn't it crazy? He starts talking about upholding the Second Amendment after he's talking about trans people in sports. Let's meld that together and see what kind of message we're getting there.
Sure that the LA Olympics protects women and protects girls. I will fully uphold the Second Amendment, and we will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech in our country. We don't have free speech any longer.
Those were just woven together so gracefully. I'll stop what's happening, or stop trans women from competing in the LA Olympics. I'll uphold the Second Amendment. It's like, yikes on bikes.
And very importantly, I will and this is so, to me, so important, what we've been through in this country, I will secure our elections. Our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. But until then, Republicans must win. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. Too big to rig.
You had like 80 million votes last time. Doesn't get much bigger than that, and you still didn't win, because more people than that are against you, and less people are with you now than there were back in 2016 when you were something new and different to these people. We've seen what a Trump presidency looks like. We've seen how you turn our country into a carnival. The rest of the world, you say that, oh, they're laughing at us now. They're laughing at us when you weirdos are in charge, right? And you're like, yeah, I want to measure Kamala Harris's skull to see how smart she is. See if she's, she can't be, to see if she's actually black, or she's actually Indian, or she can't be both. It's crazy. It's bonkers.
If you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and vote. Vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day. Do whatever you want, but you have to vote. And if you want to help us ensure election integrity,
at least he learned his lesson about saying don't do the mail-in voting.
Please sign up, protectthevote.com, protectthevote.com. So, in conclusion, from Marietta to Macon, from Savannah to Columbus, from Augusta to right here in Atlanta, we inherit the legacy of red-blooded American patriots who gave their
reading from the teleprompter now.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
There's no way Trump knows that many cities in Georgia. I just know that he doesn't know the name of that many cities in Georgia.
To defend our country and defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those great, big, beautiful skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation.
Defeated fascism, I wish. Defeated communism, you wish. Both those things still exist in the world, Donnie. We're not as special as they taught you in school in the 50s, I think you went. Grade school in the 50s. So you got a lot of that Red Scare nonsense pumped into your little pea brain, and it's already not big enough to process normal adult thoughts. So I can't imagine that you even know what communism is, get alone how it works, or why it should be scary to you. But I digress. That's the notion of him saying he's going to keep women out of locker rooms. Hold on, I had an article about this I wanted to bring up real quick before I close out my segment. I think it was just in our general chat in here. I think it was. It's been a ways back, though. But, yeah, Trump was... Surely it hasn't been that long ago. It was the article about him going in the locker rooms. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to keep men out of women's locker rooms. And he, like, went into was it the Miss Universe pageant locker rooms with naked teenage girls. He just waltzed right in there. Thought that it was a good idea to just get a good look at all these underage little children. Basically, it's the Miss Universe, where they like between 16 and 20 or so. Regardless, young women, just like what were on that island that he enjoyed going to. But I digress. Trump is a real danger to the trans community. If you have trans people in your life that you love, if you have just someone you work with that's trans, that you just know, they're just normal people, right? We're all normal, regular people living our lives. Not trying to force you to live your life like me. Just trying to live my life like me. Somebody you love is either trans are in the closet as trans, gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever. Doesn't matter. We're all going to be under the same boot heel unless we stand together for this. So yeah, I'm going full team coconut train from this point forward. So I will save my criticisms for the administration once it's in place. But for right now, that's what we need. So register, vote. Let's make this happen. I'm Bree McCune, and this has been the Transpositions Weekly.